Sunday, in many cultures, is considered a day of rest. Not this time.
Jimenez to the outside, and it's brave stuff from Evans. Foster still trying to hang on around the outside of three. Absolutely dominant. Not going to be over yet.
In the shadows of the iconic Berlin Tempelhof Airport, 11 drivers from all four corners of the globe prepare to do battle on this rubber-stained concrete playground. But this is no ordinary game of chase as our racers descend into their electrified battle machines and bash, bump and blast their way into superstardom.
Really there's contact on the run down into turn two. He's definitely getting turned around. They're going to bang doors here.
And after 25 minutes and one very important final lap, we will have our winner. And as the dust settles here in Berlin, we go again. We've studied the stats, we've made some calculations and done some very, very difficult maths. Anyway, we've reversed the grid, which means the hunters become the hunted, but will they catch their prey? Good morning and welcome to a stunning Tempelhof Airport just south of the German capital of Berlin. We have an epic day's racing ahead of us. Not one, but two rounds of the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Super Sunday. Round 7 is about 15 minutes away, and then in 5 hours' time we will have round 8, which will be our reverse grid. Temperatures here are hot. The temperature and the feistiness on the track is even hotter. Sergio Jimenez has an 18-point lead in front of the Kiwi Simon Evans and Caca Bueno, another Brazilian, and Nick Foster. The new boy are not going to let Sergio have his own way. Oh no, elbows, I guarantee, will be out. So settle yourself, get everything you need to watch an awesome day's racing around you and your sofa. Now, qualifying in the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY is really, really important. So let's take a look at what happened in qualifying yesterday.
Well, in order to fit in this jam-packed Super Sunday schedule, Nick Foster was on full attack in his hunt for his first pole position yesterday in the first of 2 qualifying sessions. Simon Evans was frustrated with performances in qualifying because he needs to get a little bit closer to leader Sergio Jimenez if he's going to stop him. Caca Bueno was looking to rectify mistakes made in previous qualifying sessions, but he was unable to match Nick Foster. With fresh rubber down, the lap times kept falling. The 2 Saudi drivers fought it out for pole in the Pro-Ams. And the track was getting very busy in the closing stages. Brazilian Sergio Jimenez found some late pace to take provisional pole. With a new time to beat, the cars went out for one more flying lap, but it was only Alice Powell who was able to improve on her time. With just 2 tenths separating the top 5, Sergio Jimenez takes back-to-back poles here in Berlin. Aussie Nick Foster sits alongside him on the front row. Alice Powell has her best qualifying position in Berlin in 3rd, but with a 3-place grid penalty will start in 6th. Caca Bueno stays within reach of his teammate in 3rd. Simon Evans struggled on 1 lap pace. Let's go back down to Amanda.
And me, Vernon Kay. Thank you, Jack. Amanda, what we're about to see today, 2 races, rounds 7 and 8. It's really difficult on the cars and it's really difficult on the drivers. This is Super Sunday. This is why we love the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY.
It is. It's going to be a challenge. What we've got to remember is we're now at the 2/3 point of the season. So there is still a lot to play for, plenty of points on the table. It looks like Sergio Jimenez, the Brazilian driver, has had everything his way because his title rivals, Simon Evans and his teammate, Caca Bueno and new boy Nick Foster, they've all been making mistakes with attack mode. Attack mode has really come into play this weekend. Caca Bueno just left the gates a little bit too early. The other guys didn't catch the gates properly. The gates are critical. We've watched this time and time again. Here we go. Here we can see Caca pulling out too soon. Now, those 2 blue painted lines, those are the points that you've actually got to enter. There's a red at the beginning. Now, here you can see Nick Foster going too wide. We're then going to have a little slow-mo of that. Now, the actual gate, the loops that they have to get the car over, are along the white line between the track and the painted attack mode. So it's incredibly difficult when they're approaching the corner at around 100, just a little bit over 150 kilometers per hour, to actually hit that mark spot on, because they've also got to brake around 20 meters later. Now, bearing in mind, they've been going through the race with a fixed braking point, looking for their turn-in and their apex. To suddenly change that and hit it absolutely bang on is why we've been seeing these problems so far. But it's really led to some incredibly great racing.
It really has. Now, yesterday, Simon Evans looked completely dejected. He admitted he hadn't had the best drive, but his failure to activate attack mode really let him down, because he thought he was in with a chance of catching Sergio Jimenez. How do you think he spent last night? I mean, he doesn't seem like the kind of guy who's going to beat himself up.
No, he will dust himself off. He had a bowl of pasta, because I was with him, and he's ready to fight another day. But today, of course, as you mentioned earlier on, it is Super Sunday with this reverse grid. Now, the way the reverse grid works is going to cause a lot of problem for those front runners who need to overtake, because the grid is decided by the mean points scored in each race up till now. So those drivers that have scored the least points, the least mean points, will be starting at the front, and the highest point scorers at the back. So here we go. You see, Adalberto Baptista, his average points 103. 10.3, beg your pardon. Therefore, he will be starting at the back of the grid. These guys down at the back are going to have their work cut out to actually make moves and get past. There is an added bonus to this, and that is that attack mode is going to be changing ever so slightly. 2 attack modes will be mandatory, as we've seen in the past, but there is the option of a third. Who knows?
Well, let's just stop and take that in for a moment. Hang on. We're going to have 3 attack modes, but one of them is optional.
One of them is optional. So that is going to help, particularly the front runners.
Super Sunday gets better and better and better.
I think we've seen the racing heated, robust. I'm trying to think of some other polite words to use. Feisty. We've seen bodywork, we've seen wheel-to-wheel action, and I think we're going to see an awful lot more, particularly with Super Sunday, because the guys who are starting at the front could potentially be using their extra attack modes as well in order to just keep track position and then gain extra points in their championship.
I think a couple of drivers are going to get angry in, how do I put this politely, because it's quite difficult. They're getting annoyed with each other, shall we say, because Sergio Jimenez and Caca Bueno, the Brazilians, have their own unique driving style, which is very aggressive. Now, Simon Evans, up until this point, has put up with it. However, you throw Nick Foster into the mix, he drives pretty much exactly the same as Caca Bueno and Sergio Jimenez. It's going to get physical, I believe.
I think it's already been physical, to be honest. I think it's just going to carry on being physical. We've seen as well, just talking about physicality, VIP drivers. Now, Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY is unique in that it has this VIP driver seat. Each round, we get a local celebrity or somebody unique to where we're racing, driving the car. We've had some absolute crackers. I think Salvador Duran in Mexico last year was probably, he probably just showed us how not to become a guest driver, taking out a number of people on the grid and causing an awful lot of havoc and mayhem, and just kept on driving there. I don't know if we're going to see the whole thing.
I think with Duran, there was an element of disrespect, really.
There was.
What he was doing.
I mean, he was keen to make his mark. We also had Archie Hamilton, who came in Paris. He was another driver, very keen to make his mark. Unfortunately for Archie, had absolutely horrific conditions. I mean, Paris is slippery and slidey, and it was also pouring with rain. But then conversely, Super Mario. Now, Mario Dominguez, a hugely experienced driver in single-seaters in the States, he'd always wanted to drive for Jaguar. So for him, this was a mega opportunity.
Now, I'm intrigued to find out how everyone is feeling this morning, because, like I said, those Brazilians and the Australian Nick Foster and Simon Evans really are starting to not like each other. Let's find out what they said this morning, Amanda.
And another pole position and a valuable point. You must be absolutely thrilled.
Yeah, I'm really happy. I think pole position is always good. We know that attack mode changed a lot the race, but I think it's very important to start in the pole, get some advantage in the beginning, and try to get a gap to make the race easy. Let's see if it's possible.
Right, so you're on the front row of the grid alongside Sergio Jimenez. What can we expect?
Fireworks, always. No, it was, yeah, that was a great session. I think, yeah, probably should have been pole, messed up that lap at the end there. So a bit disappointed, but to still be taking steps forward every time we jump in the car is really good, and getting a handle on the car and the driving of it and everything. So yeah, I'm excited. It should be a fun one.
Well, Kaka, you came into this really strong. It seems to be falling away. What's the problem?
I'm not sure yet. The track is more rubber and warm today, and obviously my setup not working with this temperature. I'm starting understeer and lose a lot of traction. And in the first qualifying, I'm struggling. I'm fighting with the car. And the second qualifying, I touch a little bit and improve the car a little bit, but not too much. Not for like the two first qualifyings, I make the pole and the car go well, but now we change it again and try a little bit lucky in the race.
It's Super Sunday here in Berlin, Tempelhof Airport. Round 7 and 8 coming your way. It's going to be some intense driving on that track. There really is. So let's go over to our race commentator, Mr. Jack Nicholls.
Thank you, Super Vernon. Looking forward to seeing this one unfold, because we have got two races coming up today, as we say. The first one is a fairly standard one, although Jimenez and Foster on the front row of the grid is going to be very entertaining indeed. And then we've got the reverse grid later on. Both races going on the traditional Berlin circuit. And it's going to be fascinating to see them fight it out around these 10 corners. Jimenez on pole, Foster alongside him. Simon Evans could only manage 4th position in the end. Fahad Al-Ghassabi is going to be starting in 5th position. As with yesterday, we've got Jessica Hawkins with us, the W Series racer, and looking forward to this one. Jess, yesterday was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was great to see. Great racing yesterday, especially in the last few laps. It's unfortunate actually that we don't get to see Alice take up her 3rd position, so it's a shame she got that penalty yesterday, because I'm sure she would have created a lot of drama and some good moves and stuff. So yeah, but yeah, she's got a lot to fight for, and Abby starting nearby, so yeah, it'd be good to see how those two come through.
So Sergio Jimenez starts on pole position, Nick Foster alongside him in 2nd place. Then it is Kaka Bueno in 3rd position. Simon Evans is in 4th place. He trails Sergio Jimenez, the man starting on pole, by 18 points. So a finish like this would be very detrimental to his championship hopes. Then we've got Fahad Al-Ghassabi, the 26-year-old Saudi Arabian, starts in 5th position. He's the leader of Pro-Am. There is Alice Powell, as Jess mentioned, qualified 3rd, but a 3-place grid drop for a contact yesterday in the race means she's down in 6th position. 7th is Abby Eaton in the VIP guest car. Then we've got Gregory Seguers starting in 8th position, the young Frenchman. Then Paul Spooner starts in 9th spot in the next of the Pro-Am entries on the right-hand side there, driving for the Saudi Arabian team for Saudi Racing. And Paul Spooner will be starting ahead of Adalberto Baptista in 10th position. And then Takuma Aoki at the back of the grid as we get ready for these 11 cars to go racing down towards turn 1. And it's going to be a very, very busy race, this, because Simon Evans will be so frustrated after yesterday. He'd kind of done all the hard work. He had himself in a good place, but just missed that attack mode activation, and as a result, lost a huge chunk of points to Jimenez. And he's 18 points behind. He's starting 4th. Jimenez is on pole. This is where it gets really important to try and close in the gap and to damage limitation, I think, to a certain degree.
Also, Jack, I'm not sure if I think we did notice it yesterday that Jimenez was really quite far forward in his box. Too far forward, I think, and it was made apparent to the stewards, I believe, but no action was taken. So it'd be interesting to see if he goes over it again, or he's taken from the advice and actually within his box, so that you can't go over the white line now. The rules changed.
Okay, that's very interesting. We saw he was very far forward, and Evans was a little bit far back, but that sort of made it look more dramatic. But keep your eyes then on Sergio Jimenez as he pulls forward now into his grid box. Does a little burst of power before coming onto the brakes. Keep your eyes on the left there. And there is a little thumbs up from Nick Foster. And yeah, so Jimenez certainly behind the white and the yellow line there. Abby Eaton getting ready to go. A thumbs up from her to the marshal, giving her her position. 25 minutes plus 1 lap of racing. Green flag wave from the back. Looks as though Seguers wasn't quite in his position in 8th spot, but Jimenez leads the championship by 18 points. Simon Evans is 4th on the grid, and away we go. Pretty decent start from everybody in the top 4 or 5. Looks to the inside from Fahad Al-Ghassabi, but he has to bail out of it. Abby Eaton has got ahead of Alice Powell. Powell a little bit slow off the line, I think. And Abby Eaton, as a result, has got through and has got past Fahad Al-Ghassabi. Al-Ghassabi really struggling at turn 1. So Jimenez leads, Foster 2nd, Bueno 3rd, Evans 4th. Abby Eaton gains 2 places and is up into 5th position in the VIP car, ahead of Seguers, Al-Ghassabi, and Alice Powell loses 2 places at the start. So maybe just a little bit slow on the reactions, but Jimenez it is out in front. He holds the lead over Nick Foster. This is where attack mode activation is, down here at turn 6, but we saw yesterday it took a long time for the drivers to decide to use it. There's Paul Spooner coming through. He's ahead of Adalberto Baptista and up into 9th place. Takuma Aoki uses attack mode straight away, but a pretty clean start overall. Abby Eaton with a great start.
Yeah, great start from Abby. I also noticed that they were still working on Powell's car just minutes before she was going out, and I think they had a late night and an early morning trying to get that repaired for the race. So I think she's lucky to even be in it, and maybe it's not, you know, maybe struggling a little with the setup. But
yeah, she had a crash yesterday and with Nick Foster, which ended spinning her around. Foster ended up retiring from the race. Foster now in 2nd place is 8/10 back from Jimenez on the run down into turn 1. Caca Bueno is right behind Jimenez, behind Foster, the Australian. Bueno in there behind in 3rd position. You can hear the tyres squealing as they make their way through, and it's whether Foster can stay with Jimenez, because that's going to be his sort of main job, I think, at the moment for Nick Foster, the 27-year-old Australian Porsche Carrera Cup champion in the past. Has raced in the World Endurance Championship, the Intercontinental GT Challenge, and now making his guest appearances in the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY this week. And there's Seguers having a look to the inside of Abby Eaton. Eaton fairly confidently turning into the apex anyway, and holds on to 5th position for the moment.
I think yesterday Foster felt he definitely had the edge over Jimenez, so it'd be interesting to see if he can hang on, to see if he tries to make an earlier move than leaving it till a little bit late yesterday. So it'd be interesting to see how it pans out.
There is a look up. Well, Aoki is trying to get past. He's in attack mode at the moment, trying to get past that. Alberto Baptista. Baptista squeezes him coming into turn 10. Seguers is under investigation for a jump start, so that might explain one of the positions that Powell lost at the start. And Abby Eaton defending heavily from Seguers. The Team China driver looks to the outside, but Powell holds the inside and goes a little bit deep, but manages to get back around for the apex. We're on board with her here.
Constantly, you know, working the car hard, and especially because they had new tyres into this race, so the first few laps even, maybe they're just trying to get some heat into their tyres, so it would have been a bit slidey for them. So now they're really starting to get some heat into them, you know, 2 or 3 laps down. So we'll see. Next few laps will be interesting.
That's a really good point, actually, because usually they get a tyre, basically a race day, and Eaton going wide. Seguers finds the inside line, gets through, and is now up into 5th position. Fahad Al-Ghassabi is going to be the next driver to try and challenge Abby Eaton. We'll see whether Eaton can keep the pace with Seguers as they come through 7. But usually when the I-PACEs do a race, they've practiced and qualified on the same set of tyres. But today they've got that new set for this race and the next race later on. So it's the first ever race really on a new set of tyres for these Jaguar I-PACE cars. So really good point there. Jimenez's lead 1.2 seconds over Nick Foster, so he's really hooking it up at the front is Sergio Jimenez. There he is across the line. Then it got back to Foster, Bueno, Evans, the next 3. And And then it is Seguers in 5th, Eaton 6th, Al-Ghassabi 7th. Alice Powell has activated attack mode and is therefore in 8th place, but will be challenging Fahad Al-Ghassabi before too long, I would have thought. So sort of 2 groups of cars at the moment, although Jimenez is got quite a big lead, but a long way to go.
It was nice to see a clean move, actually. A bit of a change from yesterday, but made it exciting for us nevertheless. But yeah, he's got a bit, if he's going to catch that front pack, he's got a bit of work to do. But I'd imagine, if I know I-PACE racing, it's going to get a bit scrappy the last few laps.
Definitely tends to build to a crescendo, doesn't it? With 20 minutes plus a lap to go. Foster closes in a little in the first sector. Alice Powell does the fastest first sector of anyone, takes half a second out of Fahad Al-Ghassabi, so is just 0.3 of a second behind. Onto the brakes, into the hairpin, and Powell, is she going for it? She is, late in the day. Very nice move on Fahad Al-Ghassabi, came from a long way back, but got up the inside, made the move stick, and that is now 7th place for Alice Powell in the blue RAN racing car, 3rd in the queue here. She's in the pro class. The white background cars are in the Pro-Am class, which is for the less experienced racers, as Sergio Jimenez comes across the line ahead of Foster, Bueno, Evans, down into turn 1.
Yeah, Foster just needs to be careful that he doesn't let Jimenez get too much of a big gap, because that's when we'll see Jimenez go for attack mode, I think, just when he starts to eke out that lead a little bit more, just because it'll be a slightly safer for him.
It's interesting to see when Jimenez decides to use it. Still with 8, we saw them, it was about 7 minutes left yesterday, wasn't it, that they started all to use their attack modes. You wonder whether Simon Evans in 4th position, because he's got such a big gap over Gregory Seguers, maybe he will,
fair play.
What can I say? He does go for it then. So Evans starts the attack modes early on, still gets out ahead of Seguers, and we'll have a look at the overall. What is the overall time loss in that middle sector when you activate attack mode? The front runner's doing 27.3s, Evans does a 29.3, so it's a 2-second margin you need, and Jimenez's margin over Foster is 1.3 seconds. Now there's a replay at the start. I was looking at the timing screen, so I didn't see Seguers' potential jump start. Trying to see what happened to Powell. Seemed to get away okay. There didn't seem to be anything too bad, but Eaton found the inside, and then Seguers was able to follow through as well, because Eaton was sort of hung out to Alice Powell was hung out to dry a little bit.
Yeah, she didn't really have anywhere to go at that point. You know, she was kind of stuck behind the one in front of her, so I guess it was just a, you know, domino effect. She had nowhere to go and just got stuck there.
Everyone else was fairly clean and tidy. This was a replay of Powell's move from a long way back, but still made the apex, actually.
Yeah, that was nice.
In the Jaguar Germany racing car. And that's the same move on Abby Eaton a couple of laps later. So Powell is now up into 6th position and closing down on Gregory Seguers. Simon Evans does the fastest first sector of anyone, so now he's in attack mode. He's right on the back of Bueno, and can he get past? Each attack mode is 2 minutes. There goes attack mode for Seguers, then attack mode for Abby Eaton, both of them activating it no problem. Eaton a little sketchy on the exit, but Seguers now has attack mode ahead of Alice Powell, so should be able to hold her off for the time being. And Evans is on the attack now with Caca Bueno. Now, it's going to be so difficult to try and pass Bueno cleanly when he's the teammate of the driver that he's leading the championship with. Bueno sends it in deep. Evans will surely get the cutback here out of the corner and make a fairly straightforward pass down into turn 1, although he's just run out of attack mode, hasn't he? So it's just going to be a drag race. Evans has got through ahead of Bueno, and next up the road is going to be Foster, but they're now over a second behind Foster, and Jimenez is looking in control, 1.3 seconds clear up at the front. So Evans up into 3rd place, and I wouldn't be surprised if Bueno takes attack mode next time around to try and get back at him.
Maybe. That was a nice, clean, classic cutback move. Probably was able to pull that off just because he had a few more seconds left of attack mode just before. And then as he got alongside, it ran out, so that probably worked perfect for him, really. Now they just need to be careful that they're not scrapping too much to let the front 2 get away, which doesn't actually look like... It looks like he's pulled him in slightly.
Yeah, 15 minutes left on the clock. Jimenez leads is 1.3 seconds over Evans. Then it's a second back to, Jimenez's lead is 1.4 seconds over Foster. Then it's a second back to Evans and 0.6 back to Bueno. Seguer, Powell, Algosebi, Eaton, Aoki, the top 10. Baptista and Paul Spooner has dropped to the back now. A little look to the inside from Abby Eaton. Oh, and goes for it late in the day. Looks as though she managed to kind of slightly distract Fahad Algosebi there, because Algosebi looked to be far enough in front, but then left the door open, and Eaton goes through in attack mode at the moment, getting that done just at the last possible moment, really, before she ran out of attack mode, and following Alice Powell nicely, Abby Eaton, as they come across the line.
Yep, I can't imagine those two are going to squabble too much, so they'll probably be working together, looking to chase the pack ahead of them. Although quite a distance to catch, but there is always the possibility a couple may miss the attack mode, which will put them at a massive disadvantage. So it's not over yet. It's still got a long way to go. They just got to get their head down now and put some quick laps in.
Look at this lead for Sergio Jimenez. 1.4 seconds over Foster. Foster goes for attack mode then. So from second place, oh, that was close to the wall on the exit, wasn't it? Seguer activates his attack mode as well, and Foster didn't get it. Foster didn't get his attack mode. He drops to 4th position without activating it. He's going to have trouble now, Nick Foster, to try and recover to the front, so it's going to be so much pressure on Sergio Jimenez, whether he can get the attack mode or not. Here's the replay. So comes in, oh, he goes in a little early, doesn't he?
You can see, and I spoke to one of the other guys yesterday actually, and I think if you try and attack it too much, you miss it.
Yeah.
So you're almost better off yielding slightly and just absolutely making sure that you get it, even, you know, if you lose a tempo or two.
13.5 minutes to go. On board with Nick Foster then, who's now down in 4th position, half a second behind Bueno, and still has used none of his attack modes. Evans is now in 2nd place, 1.8 seconds behind Jimenez. So is this going to be Jimenez, his chance to use an attack mode on board with Foster?
Probably. I mean, he's looking and he's getting to that 2-second mark where he won't even need to do an overtake. So as soon as he gets maybe to that 2-second mark, maybe that's when we'll see him go in for the attack mode.
13 minutes plus a lap to go. There goes Foster, going for it again. And he did get it.
He got it.
I thought for a moment he had it there, but he's now come out just in front of Gregory Seguers. 12.5 minutes left on the clock.
He's going to be very frustrated, I'm sure.
Down into the hairpin. 12 minutes left. Foster in 4th position. Jimenez, Evans, Bueno, the top 3. And it's 1.8 seconds, the gap between Jimenez and Simon Evans. Evans could really do with a safety car or something like that to close the pack up a bit, and he's still got one of his attack modes to use. Caca Bueno behind has got to close in as well. With 12 minutes to go, Gregory Seguers sets the fastest lap of the race. Jimenez, the gap comes down to 1.6 seconds.
Okay, so Evans taking some time back, which is good. That's what he needs to be doing. I think that's what happened yesterday as well. He kind of started to claw it back towards the end of the race. It seems like Jimenez has the edge at the beginning, but Evans has the edge at the end. Still a comfortable lead, though.
Yeah, looking strong, isn't he, Sergio Jimenez? There's a reason he's the reigning champion. There is Alice Powell running in 6th position. Abby Eaton under pressure from Fahad Algosebi.
I can't imagine they're going to put up too much of a fight against each other. Algosebi's leading his class, although racing drivers are racing drivers. They'll go for any moves and positions they can, but there's no real need at this moment, I don't think, especially for Algosebi, because he's leading his class.
10.5 minutes left on the clock. Al-Ghassabi looking as though he's going to win that class, the Pro-Am Championship. He was a quarter of a second quicker than Avi Eaton on that last lap. He's been racing the whole season, has Fahad Al-Ghassabi. Second in class in the first race in Diriyah, which Yachi Zhang won. In fact, Yachi Zhang won both of the Pro-Am races in Diriyah, but then ever since then, Fahad Al-Ghassabi has won them all, so that's why he is top of the championship. Adalberto Baptista looks like he's going to secure second, and Paul Spooner's got a shot at taking certainly fourth, maybe even third, and Seguer's been given a drive-through penalty. So from fifth position, Gregory Seguers has been given a drive-through penalty. And has Foster missed it again?
Yeah, I think he has.
Oh. Do you think it's because there's no kind of practice today or something that they can't get their eye in, or something? Because it's I guess it's the first race on this. No, it was this layout yesterday.
It was this layout yesterday. I think, you know, the driving position and stuff, I think maybe it's just difficult to see. Maybe they can't see it properly, I'm not sure, but this is the second time in the race that he's missed that, so he's going to be fuming. So he doesn't, looks like he doesn't get far enough across it on the first one.
And now he's coming into the, oh, that's Seguers doing his drive-through penalty for the jump start. But, yeah, Foster just keeps missing. And look how far back he is now. There's Jimenez, Evans and Bueno, the top three. And then it's 2.5 seconds back to Foster.
That's a big loss. Not only do you know, add the 2.5 or 2 seconds, he also loses the attack mode.
Yeah.
So it's a double bad hitter.
Yeah. 8.5 minutes plus a lap to go. Jimenez's lead has come down to 1.1 seconds, though. It was up at 1.8 when Evans first moved into second place, and now it's down to 1 second. So Evans is starting to claw it in. Come on, Nick. No.
No.
Wow.
What's happening? He needs to get further across it. Oh, no,
I think he has got it. He got it this time. I saw the top of the windscreen flashing, and so there we go. Foster finally gets it. Al-Ghassabi goes for attack mode as well.
Brilliant. I'm glad he's got it.
Yeah. Alice Powell had a lot of trouble in Diriyah getting the attack mode activation because of the way it was. You had to arm it while you were turning through a very tricky corner, and that was a bit of a challenge. So Jimenez leading, Evans second. The gap now 0.7 of a second. Simon Evans on an absolute mission. Now he can see Jimenez in front. He is rapidly flying up to the back of the Brazilian, and he can't afford to be sensible here.
Good there. So good at the first corner. I can imagine when you're chasing someone like that and you can feel it, you get this feeling in your stomach that is undescribable, and it just edges you further forward and just gives you that extra little bit that you need. He's right on his tail now.
Down into 6. Gregory Seguers gets ahead of Fahad Al-Ghassabi for 8th place now that Seguers has served his drive-through penalty. Cacabueno uses his attack mode. Did he overshoot it as well?
I feel like he might have.
No, I think he's got it there at the top of the windscreen. The lights are flashing, so yeah. Cacabueno gets it. And Nick Foster will try and chase him down. And now that's an interesting decision, because that's kind of opened the door for Evans to take attack mode. Because now Bueno is nowhere near. Evans can easily take attack mode and have a shot at getting Jimenez here but Jimenez has 2 attack modes remaining, 6.5 minutes plus a lap to go.
Should Evans have taken attack mode then? I feel he maybe should have.
Yeah.
I'm no attack mode expert, but I feel like he may have missed an opportunity there.
I guess I think he'll, it depends if he'll still have the opportunity on this next lap. Because he couldn't have taken it because he didn't know Bueno was going to take it, because Bueno was behind. But I guess the question is, if he takes it now on this lap, will he emerge in front? The gap between them is sort of 1.9 seconds, so it's a really tight one here. I think this might be Evans' opportunity and that he should go for it. But
yeah, if he's going to go, I think he needs to go now.
Because Bueno's still got 1 remaining as well. Or does he play it safe and wait for a couple more laps? Here comes Evans. stays in behind Jimenez. Jimenez has 2 to use still, with 5.5 minutes to go, so it's only a matter of time before he gets past. Before Jimenez has to take 1, I should say.
So he was 0.8 quicker on that lap. Oh no, on his best lap he's 0.8 quicker. Oh, has Evans used an attack mode yet?
Yeah, he's used 1.
Okay.
And Jimenez has used none. So
Right.
that's why Evans has a faster best lap. Here they come into the final corner again at turn 10. Bueno is now out of attack mode as they come out onto the start-finish straight. So as a result, he slots into 3rd place, now on the same power, but he has another one to take, as does Simon Evans. So will they? And Jimenez can't afford to wait till the last lap. So this is going to be interesting, because Evans can just wait till the last possible opportunity to take his. The same is true of Bueno behind. Jimenez, despite being in 1st place with an extra attack mode remaining, it feels like he's a little bit disadvantaged here. I don't know. Attack mode is such a strange. Is it a benefit? Is it a negative? It's fascinating.
Is he going to run out of time to use 2 attack modes?
He's got to do it this lap, surely. Jimenez. No, he doesn't.
Surely he's going to get a penalty, because I just can't see. Is he going to be able to use 2?
I think he will, because we've got 4 minutes plus a lap to go. A lap is 1.5 minutes, so I think he'll just about make it, and you only have to activate it. You don't have to use the full time of the attack mode. So I think he's got time to do it. Evans has gone for it now, which is interesting. A very strange. That's a strange decision for me for Simon Evans. I don't know what that has achieved, because now he's behind Bueno, who's got to take another one, and so maybe Bueno's got to take it on the next lap, but Evans might lose time here.
Maybe they just want to make sure they don't slow each other up too much.
Yeah, so well, let's see what happens here down the start-finish straight. How's Bueno going to defend from Simon Evans? Not too bad, actually. So Bueno kind of stays out of the squabble there. Didn't make Evans go the long way around. Evans now back up into 2nd place. So when Jimenez uses attack mode, which he has to on this next lap, Evans will get in front of the Brazilian. And then Jimenez will have 1 more attack mode to use still.
Yeah, I think that was a clever move by Bueno, not making that too difficult for Evans to get past. They're probably thinking of the bigger picture, and if they squabble too much, they don't want to give Jimenez a 2-second lead.
Here they come down into 6. Jimenez has got to go for it this time, surely. There he goes, into attack mode. Now, is he going to activate it? Yes, he is. We've seen so many people struggling, actually, that felt a risk in itself, that if you only give yourself 2 shots to do your 2 attack modes, you get 1 wrong, and then you're in big trouble. But here comes Jimenez now on the back of Bueno. Is Bueno going to fight him? I wouldn't have thought so. Oh, Jimenez goes for it late in the day. No, he doesn't.
Well, this is for track position, though, so I can't imagine he's going to make it easy for him.
Down into 10. Jimenez gets the drive out and makes the move this time. So he's up into 2nd place. Evans's lead is then 2 seconds as they start the final lap over Jimenez in 2nd place. Sorry, not the final lap. After this, we will... So this is 2 to go, isn't it? This is the penultimate lap of the race. And Jimenez has still got another attack mode to use. So, and he won't be able to use it this lap because he'll still be on attack mode. So, there's Paul Spooner and Adalberto Baptista. Baptista getting spun around and dropping to 11th place. Bit of a collision there down at turn 1. So here comes Evans in the lead of the race with 1.5 minutes to go. If he takes the win, the gap will go from 18 points down to 13 points. So a little bit of a chip away at the advantage at the top of the standings for Sergio Jimenez. Now Jimenez can't activate attack mode this lap while he's already in attack mode. There goes Bueno for his 2nd one, and he gets it. So the question is, can Jimenez close up to the back of Evans, then take attack mode and drop back again, and then close up to the back of Evans again, and then overtake him in the space of 2 laps? So this is they're going to start the 2nd to last lap in a moment when they come out of turn 10. How aggressive is Evans going to be while he's still in attack mode? And Jimenez goes to the inside. Evans covers it off. So now Jimenez is out of attack mode, but he's got 1 more attack mode to take. This is going to go down to the absolute final lap and probably the final corners.
Do you know, I think Jimenez would have needed to take attack mode because he's going to then have a lap. He's only going to have 1 lap left to use attack mode in, which he may need to get that 2 seconds back that he loses by going for the attack mode.
Yeah, they're better. They're going to be right together at the line, aren't they? It's going to be fascinating.
I hope so.
This is the second to last lap. Attack mode lasts 2 minutes. You activate it halfway round the lap, and a lap is 1.5 minutes. So basically, Jimenez will run out of attack mode coming out of the final corner of the final lap. So here he comes then, into attack mode now. Is he going to get it? That's one of the big things. We've seen so many drivers miss it. Here he goes. Looks neat and tidy to me. Oh! Has he got it? He has, yes.
He has. But he's also got to get past his teammate.
Yeah.
And he's not going to make it easy, I don't think, because this is for track position now.
It's Evans on that last lap did a very quick lap, a 1:26.6, which was 4 tenths quicker than Caco Bueno. So here we go, we're about to start the final lap. The charge is going to come. So this, the last time, Jimenez made the move on Bueno here at the final corner, but Jimenez isn't ahead of Bueno yet. Final lap of the race. I think Simon Evans is going to win this one. We've got a lap to go. Jimenez, having controlled the whole race, looks as though it's going to be a bit too much for him. How hard is Bueno going to fight? Down into turn 1, knows that he hasn't got as much power as Jimenez on this final lap. Oh, gives a bit of a nudge.
I think he just overshot it slightly.
So now, Bueno up into second place. The gap between Evans and Jimenez is 1.5 seconds on this final lap. But Jimenez is going to close in on the long run. Down towards turn 6. Evans needs this win if he wants to take the title fight to Sergio Jimenez. But is he going to have enough time to do it? He's closing in on the New Zealander. What a grandstand finish to this first race of the day on Super Sunday in the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY. Is he going to lunge? Can he afford to lunge? Can Evans allow him to come through? It's going to come down to the final corner. Jimenez is going to be in a higher power mode, and he's got a good drive out. Evans will cover the inside. Jimenez to the outside. The final turn. Bang wheels. And Evans goes in deep. Jimenez gets a good drive out. It's going to be a drag race. Evans is going to hold on, surely. Jimenez runs out of power, runs out of attack mode, and across the line, Evans wins by 1/10 of a second. Jimenez in second.
Oh, you can see how happy he is. Makes up for yesterday, I guess.
Simon Evans, absolutely buzzing.
Oh, there's no, genuinely, there is no feeling like that when you're just hanging on to it. Just hanging on to it, last lap battle, and you just go over the line. There's no feeling like it.
Fahad Al-Ghassabi finishes in 9th place and wins the Pro-Am class. Alice Powell finished in 5th, Abby Eaton in 6th, but Simon Evans takes the win and closes in on Sergio Jimenez at the top of the championship. Gap comes down from 18 to 13 points. And I think this is going to be a very happy New Zealander once Vernon speaks to him in a few moments' time. Here we go then, and well, Jimenez had to go to the outside. Evans was not letting him through. They had a bit of a bang here. I thought Evans might have gone in a bit deep, and Jimenez was getting the undercut, but not quite. Up towards the final turn again, and it was just Evans sent it in, and it was just here that I thought maybe he'd gone in too deep and Jimenez was getting the cutback, but not quite. Simon Evans spoke to his dad Owen this morning, who's in New Zealand, and his dad said there's plenty of races to go. We've got another one today, and it will be done in reverse average finishing positions from Berlin. So Evans will be starting ahead of Jimenez on the grid for race 2 later on. So that could really affect the championship fight. Evans returns. And this is going to be a very happy man. First win since the opening race of the season in Diriyah. Removes his helmet. And we'll be speaking to him in a few moments' time after a great win. And the strategy played out really well for him, because it looked as though Jimenez had it under control. He was in the lead, big lead, 2 attack modes remaining. Everybody else had used their attack mode, and it didn't work out.
No, I thought that Evans had maybe made a slight mistake by going quite early for that second one. But it paid out quite well. But I think that was helped actually by Jimenez leaving it so late. I think maybe if Jimenez had gone a lap earlier for his second one, or even his first one, who knows, could have been a different story. But great drive from Evans.
So here's a look at the results after 19 laps of racing. Simon Evans takes the win, a tenth of a second ahead of Sergio Jimenez. Then it is Kaka Bueno in third, Nick Foster fourth, Alice Powell fifth ahead of Abby Eaton in sixth, Gregory Seguers in seventh, Takuma Aoki in eighth position. Then Fahad Al-Ghassabi wins for Saudi Racing in the Pro-Am class. Paul Spooner finishing in second, but he and Adalberto Baptista are under investigation for causing a collision. But Evans it is who takes the win for Team Asia New Zealand, and he will be on the top step of the podium in a couple of moments' time before going and racing again later on this afternoon. So there is the confirmation, 13 points the gap between Sergio Jimenez and Simon Evans. Now Kaka Bueno third, Alice Powell fourth in the standings, Takuma Aoki there in sixth, getting closed in by Gregory Seguers. But Jimenez and Evans, it keeps extending and decreasing and extending and decreasing. And now it has decreased just a little to 13 points, with plenty still on offer in the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY. One more race today, and then 2 more races over the days on Wednesday and Thursday. So a total of 3 to go. And in the Pro-Am points, Fahad Al-Ghassabi comfortably out in front there. Adalberto Baptista in second position, some 60 points behind Fahad Al-Ghassabi, and Paul Spooner in third. So let's hear from the race winner, the man who's closed the gap on Sergio Jimenez, his first win since Diriyah. Vernon.
Yes, thank you, Jack. Simon, long time coming, this second victory. Congratulations. You said to our producer, Andy, earlier on this morning, Andy Bruce, that you were going to send it. You did that. Congratulations. It wasn't an easy drive, though.
No, it wasn't. I got my 2 attack modes, which was the first step after yesterday, but starting from half was always going to be starting from fourth was always going to be hard of damage limitation to points. I knew I had the pace. My car was quick. It's been quick every day. I've just made small little mistakes, but that proves we're definitely not lying down, and we're taking this to the end.
Good man. Sergio and Kaka have really got their elbows out these past few races in Berlin. What's it like in the garage down there? Is it a little bit touchy? You can be honest. Come on, Simon.
No, okay, there's a few drivers that don't talk to each other, but to be honest, most of us all get along really well. So we all say well done and all like that. So there's good camaraderie back there. But when we get on the track, as you can see, it's pretty fast. So
yeah,
but it's just how you want it.
It makes for great television, Simon. It really does. You've narrowed the gap now on Sergio Jimenez to 13 points. Slowly getting there, Simon. Do you think you can do it? Because we've got the reverse grid this afternoon. Obviously, you've got to start in front of him. Gives you a real opportunity to claw even more points back by the end of the day.
Yeah, another fantastic opportunity. I always said coming in, there's 7 opportunities to make the most of it. This reverse grid race, it's going to be a lottery. If you might get caught up in something, you might not. It's you're just going to have to roll with the punches in the race, and hopefully I close the gap a little bit more at the end. But it's from my end, it's you don't need to win it straight away. It's just slowly catch the monkey.
Nice. I love the fact, Simon, that your demeanour, your body language has completely changed to what it was 24 hours ago when we last spoke.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunately yesterday it was the nut behind the wheel that caused the mistakes, and a very good opportunity. But I maximise it today. I use my attack modes very wisely, I feel, and it's just great to get the Team Asia New Zealand car back on the top step. It was nice to see. Thank you very much, Simon Evans, our winner today. All right, Amanda, you're with Sergio Jimenez, I do believe.
I am with Sergio Jimenez. Sergio, your winning streak has now come to an end. What a race. Do you think you used fan boost in the right, sorry, attack mode in the right way during that race?
Yeah, I think it was Simon. He was faster in this time. I was with some gap, was maintained until 6 minutes to go, and then my car was getting worse and worse, and he closed. That's why he could pass. So the strategy I was thinking to use in the middle when I have some gap, maybe should use, but I don't know if it changed because he was fast.
Yeah.
So that's it. He deserved he win.
You were saying after the race yesterday that grip was a real problem. You've just said now that your car was getting worse and worse. Are the two connected?
Yeah, I improved from yesterday. My car was worse more to the end now. Yesterday was in the 6th lap already. Shit. So
excuse the language.
And then now it's a middle to the end was not good. So let's work again for the next race.
Well, listen, tension's running high. Your teammate maybe didn't make it as helpful for you as possible, and Vernon is with him now.
I am Amanda. I'm with Caca Bueno. First of all, what a race, a great way to start Super Sunday. What are the conditions like there?
Yes, pretty hot, no?
Yeah, very hot.
Yeah, and slippery. The track is a little bit more slippery. Of course, my setup works so well when the track is coldest in the first 2 races, and in more warm, it's not too fast. So Evans go very, very quick today. I have a good pace in the beginning, but after 10 laps, my tire is warm, and I start to understeer, and I try to use the attack mode and not lost time. Not fight for the position, but not lost time to get the podium. The third place is okay. I'm not super happy, but I start third, finish third, fight for the first positions. Try to do a little bit better in the race in the afternoon.
Opportunity to use 3 attack modes. How does that change your calculations, and how does that change your preparations pre-race?
It's difficult to know, no? Yeah, because when you make a gap behind you, it's better to use the attack mode. But sometimes you use the attack mode and come back to the same place. And I don't know, sometimes it's better not use the attack mode and keep in the front. It's tough call. It's tough call.
And you guys don't
tomorrow.
have any radio communication to find out where everyone is and how many attack modes other people have used?
No. And I see in my mirror, today's Foster missed again the attack mode. And okay, I can go in this lap and not lost my position and try to make a better pace with the attack mode, to own the position this way, not in the track, but with the attack mode. And not work. Today works, today not work so well. But it's tough call to race late because I don't know. I'm not sure what the best. Discover in the race.
Okay, thank you, Kaka.
Thank you.
Amanda.
Thanks very much, Vernon. Yes, Farhad Al-Ghasabi, Saudi Racing. Wow, another brilliant race. You are having so much fun. Does anything ever go wrong?
So I missed attack mode again, which wasn't great, but other than that, it was a pretty good race. I didn't have a great start. My launch was good, but going into the first corner, I was a bit wide. So 2 cars snuck by. But yeah, after that was a pretty smooth race. I really need to work on attack mode though.
Well, listen, you made a brilliant start. Of course, we've got the reverse grid now. The 2 other Pro-Ams were really getting quite touchy-feely during that race, and now you're going to have to pass them.
Cool, yeah. I mean, I hope I have enough pace to get by them early on in the race. That's the plan anyway, to really make up some ground initially and then try to put a gap.
Well, listen, Farhad, podium time now. It's time for you to go and lift another trophy this weekend.
Thank you so much.
Jack, over to you.
Thank you, Amanda. Good to hear from Farhad Al-Ghasabi, well clear now in the lead of the points in the Pro-Am class. And we're about to get underway here at Berlin Tempelhof for the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY podium procedure. There is the race-winning car of Simon Evans. There is Caca Bueno out onto the 3rd step. A surprising lack of pace today from Bueno. Not a terrible race by any stretch of the imagination. Jimenez 2nd, but on the top step of the podium again for the first time since Diriyah. Oh, he's been working on a little celebration as well. Simon Evans onto the top step. Brilliant performance. Now the national anthem of New Zealand. Huge celebrations for Simon Evans. He is going to be happy now, and he'll be even happier later, starting ahead of Sergio Jimenez on the podium, on the grid, sorry, later on. He is pumped, isn't he? And now they will make way for the Pro-Am podium. And it will be Baptista, Spooner, Alguersubi, the top three on the podium in Pro-Am. The first race of Super Sunday, round 7 of the Jaguar I-PACE eTROPHY got underway. Gregory Seguez jumped the start, but it was Jimenez who held the lead down into turn 1. Evans was still back in 4th place at this point. Abby Eaton made a great start to get up into 5th place. Everybody battling through turns 3 and 4. Seguez went for the look on Eaton, but Eaton managed to hold position. Alice Powell was making her way up the order after a slow start, getting up the inside of Fahad Alguersubi. And then Abby Eaton at the same corner at turn 9. But Simon Evans was on a mission. And actually, the way he won this race came from just closing in and closing in and closing in on Sergio Jimenez. When they were both in normal power mode, he just carved into Jimenez's lead and ended up right behind him. Then a clever attack mode use from Evans. At the time, it didn't seem like the right time to use it. But such was his pace that he was able to dispense of Cacabueno pretty swiftly. Then when Jimenez took his final attack mode, Evans had the lead. They went side by side into the final corner at turn 10. Bit of contact. Couldn't get the cut back. It was a drag race towards the line, but Simon Evans takes the win, takes 5 points out of Sergio Jimenez's championship lead. The gap now 13 points with 3 races to go. It meant a huge amount of the New Zealander, who takes his 2nd win of the season. Let's go back down to Amanda and Vernon.
Thank you, Jack. Yes, the ceremony for the Pro-Am category is taking place behind us. That's what the music is. That's the Saudi Arabian national anthem. What a race, Amanda.
It's very loud, isn't it?
It really is.
I mean, what a race. And I don't think any of the remaining races that we're going to see this weekend are going to disappoint either, because we know how much it means to everybody. I am so pleased for Simon Evans. He has worked so hard. You get to know the drivers, spending so much time with them. We know the Brazilians are at the top of their game. Simon knows he's been making these mistakes. So for him, it is so important that he actually gets the victory under his belt now to build up some confidence.
And it's really important that he finally seems to have got this car running smoothly and seamlessly.
Yes, exactly. And I mean, we saw attack mode again coming into play. Thank you, Simon.
Yeah, anyway, we'll leave them to celebrate, but we'll see you in 4.5 hours for, let's not forget, the reverse grid round